Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Game Informer Show. My name is Ben Hanson. I'm joined by Ben Reeves.
Hey, how's it going?
We got Andrew Reiner.
Be yourself. Try to have a good time, Ben Hanson.
We're all just trying to have a good time. Suriel, you trying to have a good time?
I'm having a great time.
So this is a weird one. This is not the regular Game Informer Show for this week. That is coming up later today on Thursday. So there's two in your feed. This is an emergency session Game Informer Show. The sirens were blaring this morning as Nintendo dropped a bomb out of the blue.
Yeah, last night we got an email like, hey, Nintendo video tomorrow revealing the NX. It was like, holy hell, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. They just really hate Red Dead Redemption 2, and so they needed to like cut in on that hype any way they can. I feel like they have squashed Red Dead Redemption 2 as far as the hype this morning.
I don't know about that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the Red Dead trailer was short.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a look at the open world, but that is a huge game.
It's going to be huge.
It looks gorgeous.
And we talk more about why it's going to be huge in the regular Game Informer Show, which is going to be going live after this one. But for this, we're talking about, we're going to say on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
Yeah. The Switch,
Super
everybody.
Smooth.
Nintendo's next console, handheld hybrid. Out of the blue, this is the NX, the big revealing. I thought it was going to be like just a shadowy box with Mario like poking his head around like, look at this. And that was going to be the teaser trailer. This is 4 minutes of outlining exactly what the hell this system is.
It's good. It's a good trailer, I think.
Well, I know you're a big fan of the music, trying to have a good time.
Big fan.
Be yourself, Ben.
What do you guys think of the name? You like
Great
the name?
question.
It should have been Nintendo Swish because it looks super cool.
Are you? Okay, so you're hot on it. We'll get to that in a little bit, I feel like. But the name, I love that it's coming completely out of the blue. Like, there's so many leaks in this industry. Same with the Wii U name. Like, no one knew that until the second it was revealed at E3 that
We
year.
all laughed, yeah.
And then we all laughed. This time, it was announced completely out of the blue, and we all thought, okay.
There were some rumors about like people were like getting information like it'll be announced this week, but no one was getting like super specific details. I mean, I
like
think
the
we
name.
we knew that it was going to be some sort of like console handheld hybrid thing.
That was the leading rumor, yeah.
Yeah, and people were talking about like it'll probably get announced this week, but in terms of like no one got like a lot of the information.
But people have been saying it's going to get announced this week since like E3, and then it was like absolutely September. It's going to be in September. It was not September.
Yeah, exactly. It's the carrot for the horse that's on the end of a little string that's constantly out there. But now we have it. There's a 4-minute video that kind of details everything about this thing, shows off some games. So Switch as a name, we're all positive-ish.
They could put another I in there and make it a sweet.
I'm glad they did not do that.
It's better than the Wii and Wii U, so
That's true.
I think it's probably better than the GameCube.
I
name.
like that they are going with like a red aesthetic. Like a while ago, I know that in stores they got rid of like the division between 3DS and Wii U and just made it called all the section Nintendo and made it kind of a red banner.
Yep.
And I like that this is carrying that tradition forward.
I've heard red is dead.
So it's an interesting future. There were rumors that the name was going to be Nintendo Go or just flat Nintendo. Nintendo Switch. Reiner, you seem hot on it.
Oh, man. So there's one moment early in the trailer. If you haven't watched the trailer yet, do that. Come back. Watch this. But early on where a guy's sitting on his couch at home playing Zelda.
Really digging it.
He's just sitting in the field doing nothing in the open world. And then he gets up off the couch, goes over to the Switch dock, which is holding the screen, puts it in there. He separates the controllers from his whatever device he was holding.
Controller base? I don't know what
controller base, yeah. Takes those two pieces off, puts them on the Switch in the dock, pulls it out, and the game instantly switches from his TV to the handheld. No loss of gameplay. And I was just right there. I was just like, oh my God,
Now,
that's
I
it.
hope
That's the future.
I hope that's actually how it works, and that's not like some visual trickery.
What's your guess? Do you think they can pull off that tech?
I think so. I think it's more like this kind of like switching HDMI's. I think my guess is that the tablet or whatever it is the thing that's powering that system.
Yeah.
So it's when you're switching things, you're basically just switching like an HDMI.
Well,
cable
then
or something.
why would the console dock be so big? Like, it's not big. It's a small thing overall, but it looks like there's some guts in that thing.
Well, it's got to be charging it too, right? That's your charging base.
Stylish too.
So that's just charging base? Is that our theory?
And basically the port to the TV, the HDMI thing, basically.
Okay.
A way to keep your screen from being destroyed
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that design either. I don't know. The design of the charging station, I think, could look cooler.
It looks like video tech. It looks like a hard drive or
Right.
something bizarre. But it's so different for Nintendo, let alone because it's black, and the logo has this like aged look on it. And actually, I went back and dug up an old quote from Miyamoto because Tim interviewed him right when the Wii U was announced, and we asked him why white. And he says, based on my background as an industrial designer and Nintendo and my background in creating entertainment, I've always wanted to make greater use of color in our hardware. We found that rather than going all black, all white seems to have a broader appeal to people. And so now with the Switch, they're going all black. So
they've switched.
Wii U was black.
well,
right?
the base model was white, but that one quickly got phased out.
Although I think when they first showed off the Wii, they showed off a black model. So they changed it to white later, didn't they?
The Wii?
I thought so.
I think the first time they showed off
Yeah,
the
I
Wii,
think the first time they
was
showed it
black.
off.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't remember that. It's interesting.
Because I remember everyone getting mad at having it be a white model because they're like, "Where's the black one?" And then that took like
interesting.
years to come out.
Well, if you're a
Right.
fan of Nintendo aesthetics, I think it's an interesting discussion and direction for the Switch. Because
Yeah.
it does look really mechanical. Like, it should be called the Nintendo Click for how many times you can hear it in the video. It's like them popping a shotgun constantly. taking that thing
I'm
out
also
of the
nervous
dock.
about that. Like, how often do you switch those things out, and then do those become loose and start popping off when you don't want them to?
Right. Are they going to, like, rocket around your bedroom and injure your
Well,
pets?
Exactly, right. And
My big concern is they're independent, right? So how are they powered? Like, are you putting AAAs in those? Are they being powered by the dock as well? Rechargeable batteries inside of those? Are you going to have moments where it's like you're playing a game and it's like your left stick is out of battery?
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point.
You got to turn
Um,
it sideways and.
That's a minor
Mario.
concern, mind you, but that's one of those tech points that I'd really like to know. Like,
You saying
how is this?
that weird little thing just made me realize WarioWare on this system is going to be bad. Like, all the different varieties that they can
Right.
make you play with. Oh my god.
That's a really good point, actually.
So those little controllers, it's basically like popping off both sides of a Wii U. They look uncomfortable. There's like shots in the video of them playing like some sort of basketball game, could be NBA 2K17, and playing it just on this little. It's basically playing on like a Game Boy Micro.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
I love the idea, though. Like, the idea is like, oh, well, now you can play two-player games super easy because one controller becomes two. Like, that's a really cool idea. in
now
my
two
mind.
people can have their hands hurting at the
Yeah.
end of
That's right.
15-minute play
But
sessions.
it does look too small to be comfortable and like play for.
That looks
long
like one of those
periods
features
time.
that I'm just not sure how many titles are going to use.
Totally. One launch title, a
Yeah.
couple maybe, and
Mario
then within a
Kart.
year or two, just everyone will be like, yeah, I guess technically it can do that. But
You're saying
whatever.
the two controllers for two player.
Right, using like the tiny.
Because I think all
tiniest
games are
version.
going to do the just taking it off and you get
Oh, yeah.
everything you need.
I
there,
would
right?
certainly hope so. Yeah,
Because that's just a controller at that
Yep.
point.
right. So there's the micro option. It looks like there's also putting those two things on like the charging stationy thing, and it has like a hand-holdy aspect. So that looks nice. Kind of looks Dreamcast-esque.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And then they also show, which is basically like an evolution of the Wii U Pro
Yes.
controller,
Yes.
Right.
which
Yes.
looks nice. The analog sticks are in the right spot this time. It's a weird look. Someone mentioned on Twitter that it looks like it was like 3D printed.
Yeah.
It does
It
have
could have been, actually.
Yeah, it
There's-
probably was, honestly.
There's like weird little markings on it as well. If you look at that video closely, it's
Yeah.
a very
Prototype.
un-Nintendo-like design.
But
It
it's
could
probably
be,
not
yeah.
the final design, right?
I mean,
Right.
it's-
the final
it's-
one that could easily change. and
Is
look
it not
different.
coming in March 2017? Today.
They
They
said
did
that.
March 2017.
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Normally, I would say like you look at the original DS, and that was kind of different from the unit we got eventually in 04. But this thing's coming out in a few months.
So you think that's what it's going to look
How
like with those weird
exciting!
markings? Yeah, it's
That is
what an
exciting,
exciting
yeah.
day. One of the most exciting days all year. Last couple years in all of video games. It's crazy. On a Thursday.
It's like
Yeah.
4 months away.
this is like the first day of E3 or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So controller seems exciting, seems confusing.
A lot of form factors, like as you pointed out.
Andy, briefly, we're talking in the kitchen to him. He was worried about the size of it. It is strange to have a handheld that you can't fit in your pocket.
It's a tablet. Right. It's more tablet form factor. It's larger. This is not something unless you're wearing super baggy pants that are 10 times
Right.
too large.
Bring Jinko's back.
That's the thing. Is like
For
the-
like Hagrid from Harry Potter, like you're not going to put that in your pocket, right? So it is for a backpack. That's how they want you to transport this thing, and that's fine.
Yeah, I can live with it.
PlayStation Vita was a little bit too big for me, like just in size wise for carrying around. So it is like Brenner's saying, like more of a like. But at the same time, people I think carry tablets around more than
Yeah,
they
I
used
would've
to.
been-
So
I would've been more
I think
concerned
they're more
about-
used to that now.
Yeah, I would have been more concerned about the portability factor if this was like 5 years ago when
Yeah.
this people are used to carrying around tablets now. So that stuff is in place and people aren't super like weirded out by the idea of like, oh, I have to carry out this big, machine thing around.
And let's face some facts. People didn't carry DSs usually or 3DSs usually in their pocket.
I do.
Right? It was more of a small pocket backpack kind of thing. Like it felt weird in your pocket. Like I tried it many times.
Sure.
Yeah.
I used to, but that was before the Excel stuff came in. And like I like the Excel stuff better, but it's harder to put in your pocket.
And apparently you'll be carrying it around a lot. Like the video's so funny because like no one in the effing mind's gonna do this, but like they're on their way to go-kart racing, so they bring the Switch with so that they can play Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, they're so passionate about racing cards.
Or they're gonna go play some street basketball, so let's take a break in the locker room and play some NBA 2017.
By the way, people need to go back and watch this video because there are just some weird cuts in it where it's just like someone like opening the door to go into their apartment has no meaning whatsoever to anything that's going on. Like
the 7 weirdest shots in the Nintendo Switch trailer. Is that a feature coming out of Game
like
Informer?
seriously, I was just kind of like watching this like, are they setting up a story here?
And
like,
so many pretty people smiling.
My favorite was the one where the girl looks over her window and there's the two ladies who are like, hey, come over. And she's like, I can't socialize without my console, so I'll just take it with me.
But she's going to play with her friends.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
It's interesting there's a little kickstand.
I love that.
On the actual thing. Yeah, when they showed it, it's a guy in an airplane pulling out the kickstand. I thought, oh, now they're going to show like him going through Hulu or some nonsense. But this was all games, baby. Unlike the Wii U, where they're trying to position it more as a TV with 2 eyes aspect.
But you think about that capacity, too, of having that kickstand. You're on an airplane. Maybe you can just watch a movie on there, too.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
do we know if it has a disc drive?
It has a cartridge drive.
Yeah, back to cartridges. Basically looks like, a beefier version of a 3DS cartridge.
Right.
Which is really bizarre to me because at E3, I don't know if you remember this, Reeves, we talked to Miyamoto about, like, hey, can you guys speed up the development of Zelda games in the future? And he's like, well, we'll see, like, if we change the medium that the game is on, it's going to be trickier. But in theory, they were already doing that because the next Zelda, Breath of the Wild, is going to be on a cartridge. So I wonder what he was getting at with
it. The other thing is they keep changing engines for their games. Like every game they make a new engine for it. But
yeah,
one thing
that's a different topic.
Like a Steam engine for Spirit Tracks.
Right.
One thing a lot of people were saying is like, well, how much data can they fit on that drive, right? Like on those little cartridges. What if that's just an unlock key? Like we're in an age now where you put a disc in your drive, you download it onto your drive, and you also get a patch, a big significant patch on day one.
God, that doesn't feel Nintendo.
Yeah, no. I know, but at the same time, like, are they going to make like a 50 gig drive to play Skyrim? Or is it just going to be like a little thing that just says, yo, you bought this game, go ahead,
I guess
nuts.
The other thing is like, considering that the whole thing is supposed to be portable, I'm wondering how it'll look compared to the like our current consoles and whether how big those file sizes are going to be.
Well, it's probably telling that they showed Skyrim, and then it looks like a couple ports of Wii U games. So in theory, it'll be on the scale of Wii U or last gen. I mean, it's unclear if it's Skyrim remastered. I assume it is.
Wii U is already last gen.
Exactly.
Like power-wise,
that's what I'm saying. I still think those games can look absolutely amazing, but that's probably a good ballpark.
It looked like a really nice version of Skyrim, like the remastered one.
Yeah. So as far as like the guts in this thing, we don't know much. NVIDIA announced that, hey, it's us. It is on a custom version of the Tegra processor, which is a CPU designed with performance and low power consumption in mind. This is from Game Informer story. The GPU is based on the current crop of its GeForce graphics cards. Additionally, NVIDIA says it's all running custom software to account for its mobile and dock states.
So again, custom means it could be anything.
Could be anything. Do you expect any performance change?
I mean, I guess we have to because they used to use ATI for all their stuff, right?
But performance change between docked and undocked.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like the power all in that tablet thing, or is the station do anything other than just?
Yeah. No, outside of if you have, let's say you're running on a, I don't know, we don't know the resolution of the screen yet, do we?
No.
Like if you're running 1080p, is it going to be 1080p on your handheld as well, or? If you're on 4K, can it do 4K? We don't know anything
720
yet. I'm guessing Nintendo, so it's probably going to be an HD display, but not anything bigger than that. That's what I'm guessing.
Oh, you're saying? Well, of course. I think 1080 is the max. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go like a 4K display.
I think they would have. I think they would have promoted that.
Well, I don't know.
It's interesting that the video can say so much, and there's still a million questions about how the hell this thing works.
My big thing is the battery. I think the battery, like, how long is that going to last when I'm on a plane? Do I get like an hour of game time, or? I feel like you need to go.
Well, Nintendo emphasizes you need to take a break after playing about an hour anyway of a game. So
let's face some facts here. Like,
again,
Is that the second time we said that? All right, let's seriously face the facts.
Yeah, give it to us, Daddy.
Apple iPads have awesome battery life on those.
Right.
Nintendo would be foolish to not have decent battery life on this thing. If this thing's dying in 3 hours, it's a disaster, right? Because you need this thing to play games for a while. And they've been pretty good with battery life in all their products.
Yeah.
That's
So
why
don't put the PS4 controller battery in there.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, Nintendo, don't do that.
Nintendo, don't. Seriously, don't.
That's a big unknown. Another big unknown is amiibo support. But if you look carefully in that trailer, amiibos are everywhere.
Well,
they're lining every shelf. So I would be shocked if it doesn't support amiibos.
Here's one thing I noticed. Like, no touchscreen functionality pictured in that video.
That's true.
Like, and I'm cool with that.
I hope it's not.
If it's a nice, beautiful screen, I don't want to be touching that thing. Just have it be a nice display. Do everything on the controllers.
I feel like Nintendo has done enough in Nintendo sense of design with touchscreens, with the DS. Like, we're good. Let's move on.
So you don't think you want a touchscreen?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I want to.
Although, since the controllers are detachable on the side, I guess to like navigate that, it probably would be.
Oh, it's over. Oh.
But let's talk about the juiciest stuff here. The games they showed. We already mentioned Skyrim Remastered. It's weird and bizarre to see the NX revealed with Skyrim. Everybody.
Yeah, that is weird. Because that game, how old is that game now? 4 years?
5
years?
2011, yeah.
Wow.
It'll be new again in a month.
Yep.
That's right.
Probably NBA 2K17. Bert said he wasn't sure from the footage. It's so small if that was actually that game. It looks like Mario Kart 8. So a port of that.
Yoshi Circuit DLC.
Yep. Splatoon. That looks like old maps. So I'd imagine that's a port.
Maybe.
There's a rumor a while ago that like Splatoon, Mario Kart 8, and Smash are all getting ported at launch. That seems likely now with what they showed.
That'd be a strong lineup.
Just package all that DLC from
I like
Smash
the shot
in
they
there.
had of all the people, the team of players sitting around, like drawing on like the little board in the center of their little like circle, and like, oh we gotta play Splatoon series.
Here's the plan, guys.
Yeah.
Paint the ground the color you have.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I thought I saw Zelda.
Get out of town.
Seriously, I thought there was Zelda.
New Zelda?
But no, a new Mario, it looked like.
This is the biggest thing. Yeah, they showed what looks like the perspective from the Galaxy games, or at least, that lineage of Sunshine.
N64, yeah.
N64. So it's Mario running. It's pretty brief, but probably the most exciting part of that trailer. The first environment that Mario's running in, it looks like Mexico, Day of the Dead.
Red Dead.
There's a new character off to the side. Miyamoto doesn't like to make new Mario characters, but it's there in the debut footage. And then also it shows him in a more kind of platformy area. I think there's like some, cactus guys and whatnot.
He's jumping, yeah.
He was jumping. There were big rings. So it's a tease.
We're pretty sure it's a new Mario game?
We don't know.
What do you think it is? Of course it is.
I don't know. Like, I didn't analyze the footage, but it just seems like if they were announcing a new Mario game, wouldn't they have made a bigger deal of it?
I think we're getting a new Mario game, whether or not it is that, like, they'll use that area or whatever. I think that remains to be seen. I think the message there was like, there's going to be a new Mario game on this.
Right. It could be the Mario 128 footage where it's like, hey, there's going to be a Mario, but then by the time it comes out, it looks completely different. Who knows?
But in that reveal, it was the woman going to her window. She went out to the other rooftop and then gave her friend a controller, and they started playing together. So
absolutely.
Co-op on that Mario game, maybe. That's what I kind of was implied there, I think.
I'm shocked that they even showed going back to that perspective because they're so focused on multiplayer. In 3D World, I feel like multiplayer worked really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know how two players can play from that classic Mario Galaxy style perspective.
Split screen like we saw in Mario Kart.
They could, yeah.
Two characters in a 3D Mario game?
It's interesting because they didn't really show the two-player footage of that Mario game.
No, it's just implied.
You saw the back of the
screen. She totally takes it out and she brings it out there.
And they start playing. It's implied they're maybe still playing Mario. It could be playing something completely different.
One person controls the feet, one person controls the hands.
Actually, I don't know if you know, but we actually contacted that actress so we can find out exactly what's going on. I believe you have her phone number there, Reeves.
Yeah.
Bring, bring, bring. Hello, is this the actress?
Yes, hello.
Were you the actress from that Mario Nintendo Switch thing?
Oh, yes, you have my number, yes.
Yeah. How did that work? Were you playing two-player Mario?
We had two controllers, and we were both playing.
Playing what?
My heart.
What's wrong with you?
I'm dying.
Why are you dying?
Mario sickness.
Mario killed you?
Yes.
Is that what the new
That's
Mario game is?
That's what we were playing. Mario killed me.
And what's the frame rate on that new Mario killed me?
128.
Fantastic. All right, thank you. Bye.
I love you.
Love you too. And there it is, a hot reveal. So a lot of questions left about Mario and this whole system.
So portability, obviously going mobile, big hook on the system. Does that just mean Wi-Fi? Or are we going to have like partnerships with like AT&T, Verizon, where we can play our games through,
I hope they're
4G,
gonna renew
stuff
that
like that?
partnership they had
That
with
would
McDonald's
destroy the
for
battery.
DS.
Going back to the battery point.
But no, seriously, like
Yeah, I
you
don't
see
know.
people playing, online basketball, apparently, this NBA 2K game, whatever that was, like on picnic tables in a backyard or at a park somewhere. Are they on Wi-Fi or are they doing that over, like 4G or something? So
Yeah.
Well,
I'm really curious in
the
that capacity.
DS had that technology too. Didn't they just use like I don't even know what they used.
Well, local, right?
Local.
It could have been, it could have
That's
been
probably
local.
all it was.
That could be interesting.
I guess.
What about games moving into the future? I had an epiphany. I watched this trailer, went and took a shower, and then had a good moment of dropping the shampoo in the shower as I realized we got him. We got Pokemon where we want them. It's it. It's here, man. Game Freak now has to make officially a console Pokemon RPG. No way around it.
If Nintendo sticks with the one unit.
Yeah.
If they funnel
continue to
everything
3DS.
into NX, if they do
Switch.
3DS again or a new handheld, huge mistake.
I
They
don't
are
think
set
they
up
will.
for
I
a
don't think they will.
one platform system, and just think about that. All those awesome first party games that were divided up on two systems, and we always wanted them on both, now going into one spot. Pokemon.
Like Alpha Dream with like the Mario and Luigi series, all these handheld series.
Yep.
Super Mario Maker would not have to have a 3DS version that was
There
gimped.
we go. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And they just roll it all. There's so much talent now to focus that laser on the Switch, everybody.
Unless they put all that stuff on iPhone and Android.
Yeah. My question, we see Skyrim running on this system. My question is if we're going to see a port and eventually be able to play Switcher 3. Well done. They also announced all the publishers and developers that are going to be that are on board so far. A couple interesting ones. They mentioned DNA, which is the mobile developer, so that could imply there's going to be some sort of cross development,
Super
some
Mario Run
compatibility
on the Switch.
Yeah, exactly. Epic Games was also on that list.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I wonder if that's just going
Any
to be
new
Paragon.
tech, they sniff it out and they're like, give it to us.
They
Well, it'd
make
be
a
cool.
cool
long,
demo
hard
for
talk
it.
about that
Fortnite?
engine.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Fortnite would be
That'd be
awesome.
cool.
Launch title for NX.
That'd be really good.
Two controllers,
That'd be a
split
big deal.
screen.
Hell yeah. Telltale Games is also listed on there. Can't wait to see
Of
these
course.
sweet.
They put games on toasters, dude.
It looks like all the major publishers that I can see are on board.
One thing.
Rockstar.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Oh.
Rockstar their announcement was right afterwards, and I was like, oh man, here comes the big mic drop for Nintendo. They're going to say it's coming to NX.
Yeah,
That'd be
right.
crazy.
That trailer ended, and I was like, here comes the logo. It's going to be on all three systems.
Yeah.
No NX
Yeah.
mentioned at all.
They're not on the list.
I was
of
like, oh.
supported developers either. 2K is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we saw basketball.
Right.
That'd be cool. Like if we got, it would even something like Dishonored. Maybe would that be able to be ported? Like their current lineup of stuff, could they
Well,
port?
yeah,
that
I
over?
think you're seeing a very clear message in that trailer, in this first look at the Switch of, hey, here's third party. Some of these big games from this generation. It was weird that Skyrim was there, right? Because that was a last gen game. But you see basketball there, so hopefully that means third parties can port their games to the system,
I'm hoping it's
just
a
like they
little-
can Xbox and PS4, right?
I'm hoping it's a little more thorough than it was like on the Wii U, where you had like Arkham and
Armored Edition?
Mass Effect 3, and then that was like basically it for most of that unit's life. I'm hoping that with all the changes they've made.
Well, they came in way underpowered with Wii
Yeah,
U,
right. So
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
hoping that this is sort of the start of like Nintendo sort of making one last ditch effort to be like, we want to be a real console this
Yeah,
time.
for sure. I just noticed they also list Tokyo RPG Factor, I Am Setsuna developers. Unclear if that's a port. Also, Ubisoft is on this list. They are the muscle. Guillemot, CEO of Ubisoft, has been out there saying like, "Oh, Nintendo's done it again." So I'm sure they're gonna get in there.
Just
hot
give
and
us more
heavy.
Rayman.
Is it too much to ask?
Come
Make
on,
it
guys.
exclusive this
Come
time.
on.
Nintendo Switch. What an exciting day, you guys.
Yeah.
You
How
think
much do you
they'll-
think it'll
good
be?
name.
Should we gamble here?
Yeah.
$2.99.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this down.
Lunch, whoever.
No, here's the thing. Someone correctly, I think, wrote into the podcast saying it's no fun when it's just like you guys. It needs to be something that like has an effect on, the podcast listeners. Like something
Okay.
embarrassing that the loser has to do. So how about?
Don't even go there.
Well, what do you want? What should the winner get that would affect podcast listeners?
They have to buy the console that we're going to give away.
Okay.
The listeners have to send us lunch.
Yeah.
And then the losers have to eat whatever
the
they
losers
do.
have to eat whatever it is. That's
Oh,
a dangerous
boy.
proposition.
That's
Yeah,
not-
that's
yeah,
tough.
that's not good.
How about whoever's the furthest off has to sing a version of the song from the trailer on the podcast?
Sure.
I mean, I just want to do that right now.
I know, we're
You guys
all trying to have a good time.
warm
but
up those pipes.
Here we go. This is what it's going to be. Whoever's the furthest off has to sing "Trying to Have a Good Time," the Nintendo Switch.
Well, I want to do that.
review
So
trailer music.
$10,000. No.
Damn it, I'm going to go with. I'm going with $3.99.
I'm gonna go $350.
We should have written this down in secret, but
I was
okay.
gonna go $350.
You can still go $3.50.
I just did $350.
I know, but you know
But then
You got to go $1 different.
that's true.
$349.99.
You jerk.
Ooh,
$3.49.
I'm gonna go $3.79.
We are right in the wheelhouse. This
Yeah.
could be a lot higher.
I was gonna say someone should have said $2.99
I almost did.
because that seems
I
like
don't think it'll be.
Well, Reiner, I mean, if it's that, you'll win.
So wait, what
I
does the
will.
winner get? Nothing?
The satisfaction of listening to the loser
Yeah.
make an ass of themselves.
Okay.
All right, there's the bet. Stamp it. Everybody remember it. And thank you so much for watching or listening to this special edition of the Game Informer Show. Be sure to tune in to the next episode. It's real good. Reiner's on it. We talk all about Battlefield 1, talk about Mafia 3, talk a little bit about Red Dead. We don't mention Jackbox Party Pack 3, which I regret because it's a really good addition this year. Definitely check it out. And then we have a great interview with the founders of Ready at Dawn about the future of that studio after the order. So stay tuned for that. And then be sure to tune in next Thursday for a brand new episode of the Game Informer Show. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Nintendo Switch.